Welcome back to DSOD 101. This episode will be about surviving DSOD in the literal sense. The first thing we have to go over is damage and armor. One of the most crucial details in Payday is understanding damage values and armor gating. Damage values are simple and self-explanatory in concept, but what is armor gating? Well, armor gating is the concept that your armor and health are considered separate in most cases. Almost everything in the game can only hurt one of these at a time. The only exception to this rule is snipers, which is one of the main things that makes them so dangerous. How do we apply this knowledge? First, we must understand damage values. The main ones you should concern yourself with are heavies, lights, tasers, and shields. These are the most common enemies in the game. Heavies do 225 damage. This means that raw ICTV will be unable to protect you on most decks, seeing as you only gain 221 armor. Light units will do 67.5 damage, making raw HPV protect you from 2 shots. This means the first shot leaves you with 2.5 armor, and the second removes the rest of the damage. Tasers do 195 damage, making raw ICTV enough for 2 shots. Shields do 70 damage, making HPV enough to take 2 shots. Now that we have all this information, let's apply it in our build setups. Let's say we want to be able to survive a heavy shot on Crew Chief. We start with 225 damage versus our armor choices. ICTV reaches 221. With Crew Chief's Brute Strength card, we take 8% reduced damage, making 225 lower down to 207. And Testudo raises your armor value to 238. This gives us 2-shot armor versus heavies and allows us to take 4 light shots without any other bonuses. Let's solidify our understanding by creating a more obscure setup. Frenzy Aced reduces heavy damage to 168.75. Crook, with its armor bonus, Die Hard Aced, and Iron Man Basic, reaches 175.5 armor with the heavy ballistic vest. This allows us to take 2 shots from a heavy and 4 shots from a light. Once your armor is down, you're not done. The base health of our Heister is 230. Some perk decks alter this amount, but that means on average you can take a health shot before downing. Playing safe and recovering your health through first aid kits, hostage taker, or any other healing until you reach greater than 225 health is the safest way to play. Now let's get more in depth with armor gating. In our Crew Chief example from earlier, we understand that after the first shot we are left with 31 armor. Taking another 225 shot will not deal 225 minus 31 damage to our health, it will only deal 31 damage to our armor. The rest of the damage is then wasted. How do we use this information? Well, Overkill gave us a very convenient skill that is accessible to everyone, except Stoic. Bullseye replenishes 5 armor that can tank anything the game throws at you. If your armor breaks, just hit a headshot and you can survive another hit. Now these concepts are all important, but all of this information is only additional to the most crucial aspect of DSOD gameplay: understanding and making use of cover. It is important to understand how enemies can deal damage to you. You may think an enemy has to shoot you, which is obvious, but where do they have to shoot you? An enemy can only shoot at you if you could, while looking at them, see the center of their face. Here's an example of how to utilize this. As you can see, even though the enemy is shooting at me, he cannot hit me unless I am standing within a position where I can see the center of his visor. With this core concept understood, you can start making creative use of your environment to block shots that you may not have thought of before. It is important to remember that the line of sight is what matters beyond anything else. This allows you to also shoot enemies that cannot see your head, but that you can see their feet, for example. Crouching under things is a way to get line of sight on enemies without them being able to get line of sight on you. Do be aware of the enemies obviously being able to crouch. Once again, I really appreciate you guys and your patience waiting for the next video. I do have to say it's been a bit of a slow one, but I'm going to be kicking up the YouTube content a lot more. For those of you that aren't already, I highly recommend you check out my Twitch. It's where the best of my content is found as of right now. You can ask me any questions relating to improvement and so on Twitch. I'm always willing to answer, whether I'm playing Payday or playing another game. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.